Howdy, folks. I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can trust. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. We have a special guest this morning who is going to talk to us about his experience at the Sonny Barger funeral. Which I think is kind of unique to get a firsthand perspective of someone who has obviously been an admirer and actually got to go to this historic event, a once in a lifetime event where they say over 7,000 people showed up. In fact, I have this article here that I found. And I haven't read this article. I just happened to stumble across it. But let me go ahead and put that up real quick. This article says 7,000 people attended the funeral for Hells Angels leader Ralph Sonny Barger at California Speedway, San Joaquin County, California. Thousands of people gathered over the weekend for the funeral of Ralph Sonny Barger, longtime president and founding member of the Oakland chapter of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. It was an event the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office warned could become dangerous. But those who attended the service at the Stockton 99 Speedway cried, shared stories, and remembered the 83-year-old Modesto native who died on June 29th from cancer. Even though he was blind in one eye and he packed his oxygen, well, then his kickstand went up. You better catch up, one speaker said. No significant incidents took place at the funeral, a spokesman for the sheriff's office said. No significant incidents. They have to throw a little something in there. Sheriff Patrick Withrow had advised residents to avoid the area of the Speedway in Northeast California and said rival organizations to the Hells Angels would likely be in the area. And we're going to talk to somebody about what happened. Here's some pictures. It just looked, there was a big screen, it seems. They say stories, music, and tears marked the service for Ralph Sonny Barger, a founding member of the Oakland chapter of the Hells Angels. Thousands of people gathered at Stockton 99 Speedway, Stockton on Saturday, September 24th, the site of the service. So there seems like a whole bunch of pictures and let's say, this part we know. According to Tony Nocetti, president of the business that operates the Speedway, he said about 7,000 people showed up. Some, he said, came from all over California. Other sported clubs from New Jersey, Minnesota, and Nebraska. Throughout the afternoon, the track infield was filled with people gathered in front of the stage, decorated with roses, wreaths, where Barger's family and friends spoke. Barger was a founding member of the Oakland chapter of the Hells Angels, started in 1957. Barger was well known as the public face of the club, which his chapters across the world are considered a gang. Hey, stop that. And by the Department of Justice. He authored several books and contributed to several films, was a consultant, and had a role on the television show Sons of Anarchy. So the story continues, but you guys can go read that. It's Yahoo News. What we're going to do is we're going to cut away to our guest, Preacher. Oh, which I guess he's already on here. So we're going to cut away to our guest, Preacher, Outlaw Preacher. And we're going to let you introduce yourself. Tell us about your motorcycle club and you. And one thing is, Outlaw Preacher is one of our subscribers to the show. So I'm really excited for him to have been following so long to be part of the show. So, hey, man, welcome. So where'd you get the name Outlaw Preacher? Uh-oh. Let me take you off of, I got to take you off mute. There we go. So where'd you get the name Outlaw Preacher?
Well, I got the name Preacher from my club because long time ago I founded a Christian club, and when it folded, I went on to be a member of the Road Dogs, and my road name had been Road Rage, and everywhere I went, we went into a bar regularly, and we'd go into this bar, and they got to know me and my wife as the preacher and his wife. I wouldn't drink. I'd have a cherry Coke. They'd have it ready, and I'd minister to some people. So
all right.
started calling me Preacher.
So you're the club chaplain, I guess?
Yes.
That's really cool, man. I was wondering with the name Outlaw Preacher why your email address was Road Rage. So now I know.
Yeah, that's because it goes back to my original road name.
So welcome to the show, man. You got a chance to go to Sonny Barger's funeral. So why would you even want to go to Sonny Barger's funeral?
Man, I met Sonny probably in about 2013 over at Hollister at Corbin Sea Factory. And from the time I met him, it was just like a normal person. You know, I walked in and hey, can I take a picture with you? And Sonny, yeah, no problem. You know, he took a picture with me. I got a copy of his movie, Dead in 5 Heartbeats. He signed a couple shirts, and he was just like really respectful and loving to somebody he'd never met. And that always stuck with me because one of Sonny's sayings was, you treat us good, we'll treat you better. You treat us bad, we'll treat you worse. And I got to see firsthand in that first experience with Sonny that he lived that. I got to see other experiences after that over the years. We both had Indian motorcycles. So I'd run into him at the Power Sport Indian in Hollister. And every time I ever met him, he was just completely respectful. Everything everybody would talk about him.
Right. So you've met him more. You met him a few times. Then were you able to talk to him each of those times that you met him?
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to him. One time I ran into him at a run up in Mountain House, and him and his wife invited me to his birthday party. We went out. They put on a huge run. His birthday party was a big deal. It was awesome. They'd have the Fried Brothers band playing and everything. And yeah, Sonny was down to earth. He was cool. And as long as you were good with him, he was good with you.
So the Fried Brothers band, so that's why they played at his funeral, because you'd had him play before?
Yeah. Anytime I was at any of his events or Oakland's events, they play.
That's cool, man. So you had to RSVP, and how did you find out how to follow that process?
I'm a member of the COC out here, and they gave us all the instructions, and it was actually quite easy once you had the links and everything.
Well, it looked like that from what I read. It looked like it would be pretty easy to get there. As long as you had that RSVP paper, you were going to be cool. So what was it like riding in when you were you rode your motorcycle there? I take it.
Oh yeah, you know, I rode in a group. my club was actually out of state, so I ended up riding in with the club that I said I'd founded, Enraged for Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And when we just on the way there, people were pulling up and, hey, are you going to Sonny's thing? And I was like, yeah. And on the way there on the freeway, we had bikes joining in with us and stuff. It was cool. And as we're pulling in, I see to the parking lots at the 99 Speedway. I see a bunch of bikes going off to one direction, and they wave me to go to a whole nother lot. And I'm like, okay. So we go to this other lot. I'm behind a truck, and I start thinking, man, we're on bikes. Did they send us to the wrong lot? And what they were doing was, before we got into the Speedway, they had a couple different entrances because they were checking everybody's RSVP to make sure you actually got in, make sure you actually signed up. So before we even went in, and while I'm in line sitting there wondering that, next thing I know, the whole both lanes fill up with bikes, and it was all these bikes pulling in, a whole bunch of the Angels and everything. And it just, at that point, you realized you were at something tremendous, something big.
Wow. So, you know, what does 7,000 bikes look like? Or what did that thing look like? How did you feel when you got in there?
When you turn in, when I turned into that parking lot, I had my camera going. I got video on my Facebook, or pictures on my Facebook page, and video on my YouTube. But you look at it, and it's just a sea of bikes, man. All you could see was bikes. It was awesome. It was amazing.
How many different kinds of clubs did you see there?
I saw every type of club you could imagine. I saw clubs from every sect. We saw, the black set, the white set. I saw Latino clubs. I saw clubs from Ireland, clubs from New York. I saw Hog even. I mean, just about everything you could imagine. I'm sure there were some riding clubs hiding in there I didn't see too. Just every type of club you could imagine.
Wow. Did you feel the law enforcement said it was going to be a horrible thing with rivals there, and stay away from there, and it wasn't going to be safe? Did you feel unsafe at any time?
Not at all. I'll tell you what. I'm from this area. I'm from Modesto, and Stockton's just down the road, next county over. So it's like this sheriff. He goes overboard all the time. We were there. The clubs, man, they take care of you. We don't have any issues. Our biggest problem with law enforcement was we had a helicopter circling us the whole time we were at the funeral.
Oh, that must have sucked to have all that noise while you're trying to have a funeral.
Yeah, they couldn't let us peacefully do it.
So you said that some guys were talking about they wanted to have some shirts or whatever, but it wasn't that kind of party?
Yeah, when we were checking in, we're in line to get checked in. After we came in through the parking lot, they check you again as you're getting ready to go into the gates. You go through metal detectors and everything. Everybody's bunched up, and you can see some pop-ups and everything. And as we're going in, people was like, hey, man, maybe we can get some shirts and stuff. Because they have some Sonny Barger memorial shirts. Check it out on the official Oakland site, by the way. They're pretty cool. But, people thought that they might actually pick them up there and stuff. But when we got in and through, the only vendors that were there were food and water, food and drink vendors. It was a real funeral. There was no support gear, nothing like that. Shouldn't it be either, right? And something that the media didn't pick up on is, as you're going through that gate, you were encouraged to bring an unwrapped toy or canned food to help the local community. So even in Sonny's funeral, they were trying to help the community out, trying to do good for people that are hurting. Wow.
So what did you bring? A toy or a gift? What did you bring?
I brought some canned food.
Okay.
Normally I would have brought some toys, but I'll be honest with you. I wasn't even aware of the toy and canned food thing until national VP from the Oregon and Rage for Christ came down. He's my brother-in-law, and he told me, "Hey, did you catch this? Did you read that on the site?" And I said, "No, I didn't catch that." And so we picked up some canned food at the gas station on our way in.
So, but you didn't come empty-handed. That's a good thing. So tell me about the speakers. What was it like? The speakers seemed like they had like 2 hours for speakers.
Yeah, there was several speakers, and tell you what, it started out with some of his close brothers, and you could just hear the love. Some of these guys he had rode with for 40, 50 years, you know, and as it went on, they had his wife speak, and I think his ex spoke. This a child of one of the guys that had been in his club for the last 40 years. It was raised around Sonny, knew nothing different than the biker life. And she said something that really resonated with me. I believe she's the one that said it. She said that Sonny always wanted to see a bunch of friendly clubs being friendly with each other. And I love that, because in order to be a friendly club and to be friendly with each other, we got to have respect for one another. And too many people walk around and they're just wanting that respect given to them, but respect's earned. You can't go off the respect of a club from the past. You need to be out there earning your own respect and showing that love and respecting each other. So that really resonated with me. As clubs, we got to be, giving that respect and earning that respect.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, and that's what was there. A bunch of clubs respecting each other.
Yeah. While we were there, I got a chance to meet the East Bay Dragons. I introduced myself to every one of them. Them guys there, they're legends too, Mm-hmm. And it was cool to be able to meet them and then turn around and go and meet a whole bunch of other clubs. It just, and as you're walking around, it's not just clubs that were there. I saw children. I saw elderly people with walkers. I saw all walks of life there. Everybody showing up to pay respects to a man that had touched their life. One of the speakers talked about how Sonny had been a cowboy, how he'd love to ride horses. And he pointed out to one of them, he said, "Look, hey, that guy's wearing sneakers. See, cowboys don't wear boots. Real cowboys don't always wear boots," is what they said. And I got a kick out of that, being able to hear other aspects of his life than just the motorcycle legend that we hear. And every aspect that I heard about a really good man that was down to earth and cared for the people around him.
Wow. That's amazing. Just really amazing. I was fortunate enough to have the East Bay Dragons actually come here to my clubhouse here, and I was fortunate enough. I kind of grew up in their clubhouse, so it's really amazing to have all those folks there, and just all there to pay tribute. If you read the book written by the founder of the East Bay Dragons, they talk about Sonny and his relationship in that book, and he's actually had pictures with him. So it's really cool that they would be there for his homegoing. What other things struck you? Was there what other things struck out at you that you'll remember and take with you?
Yeah, well, one of them was when I approached the stage. The podium said, "I never thought freedom was free," and it was a quote from Sonny Barger. And too many people these days, we take our freedom for granted. And I'll be honest with you, we're only as free as our generation today allows us to be. Once we lose that freedom, the whole next generation ain't going to have it. So as bikers, it's important for us to push for our freedoms, to fight the persecution that we fall under just for being bikers. And so I took that away. I saw that there. I saw his last cut hanging up, and I loved it because it's a custom made cut by Bay Area Vest. I love Bay Area Vest. If you guys ever get a chance, look them up, order one. They do some really nice custom cuts. That's what I wear. And I thought that was pretty cool just because it was the same as mine. But as we were up there looking, I saw 3 urns. and the urns were they were custom made. They were motorcycle jugs with heads on top of them, and so they had Sonny's ashes in 3 different urns. And I asked permission to be able to take a picture of that because I'd never seen urns like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me permission to take permission, and they stopped and said, "Hey, thank you for that respect. You know, thank you for asking."
Mm-hmm.
It's something that too many people nowadays they just want to take pictures and post them up on social media and not even think about, you know. I mean, those urns they might be awesome looking, but at the same time, those are the man's remains.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need to be respectful about that. So I love the fact that they were so friendly. They gave me that opportunity to take the picture, and you know, they reminded me that it was cool to ask.
Wow. So as you left there, what was that like? As you were how long was it? Like an all day event? Did it take all day, or yeah? How many hours was it?
Well, the gates opened at 2, and most of us wanted to get there to get in line around there. So we pulled in somewhere about 2:15, you know. And yeah, it was an all day event. It wrapped up at 8 o'clock.
Wow.
But the most of the speaking and everything was done by about 5. And after that, the Fried Brothers band played a couple times. They played an intermission in between also. And you know what? They sounded great. I don't know if they have albums for sale or not, but yeah, they sounded great. If you got a chance, check them out.
So, what was it like when Tucker Carlson? Someone said I was a liar. It was fake news. Tucker Carlson wasn't there, and I was like, yeah, whatever, man. Nobody believes anybody any day these days. So, what was it like when? Were you expecting to see Tucker Carlson show up on the stage?
I was not. I didn't know who to expect on stage, but I'll tell you the truth. I didn't even know who Tucker Carlson was until he showed up. And when he showed up, I had been standing under one of the pop-ups. The clubs had pop-ups. So the Angels had pop-ups set up so people wouldn't overheat. And there was water spraying on you and stuff. So I was standing by one of those pop-ups because there wasn't much shade there at all. Mm-hmm. And next thing I know, they announced Tucker Carlson. I'm like, okay, who's this guy? I've heard the name before, but I didn't know who he was, right? And he got up there and he spoke well. And what he really said, you know, from Sonny's last words from the post when he died, what he really iterated, you know, stay loyal, stand tall, remain free, always honor, something like that. I'm butchering it. But that really resonated with me, and everybody really stopped and listened to the man. What I got to say about Tucker was he has a charisma that gets people's attention, and not everybody has that kind of charisma. I thought it was cool. I thought what he said needed to be said. Not to get into anything political. I didn't see anything political about it. I saw that, hey, the man was saying, look, our country, our people should be standing on these words. And that's something that I think anybody can agree with.
I think so. I'm trying to look up exactly what Tucker said. You're not far off. I was trying to look up exactly what he said. You were really pretty close. But
it was a direct quote from Sonny Barger's last one he posted on Facebook when he died.
Here it is right here. Stay loyal, remain free, and always value honor. That was what he said. Stay loyal, remain free, and always value honor. So you got it all, I think. And it's just amazing how that would resonate with you. Tucker Carlson and guys like him, they do have charisma. They wouldn't be where they were if they didn't have that charisma. So they have the ability to speak to people and people listen. And so even though you didn't know particularly who he was, his manner of speaking and that sort of thing managed to galvanize. So those guys, they do what they do, right?
Yeah.
So you're on your motorcycle right now?
Yeah, I'm on my bike right now. I was moving it around a little bit when you were getting ready, just to get away from some of the noise.
Holy moly, man! So you took your time off work today to talk with us, and I really appreciate that. I'm so very thankful. So I'm not going to keep you away from the job too long. I just wanted to kind of get a feeling for what it was like to be there, outlaw preacher, man. That must have been really cool to be part of history. What do you think about that?
I believe it was an honor to be able to be there to pay final respects to a man that touched so many people,
Mm-hmm.
and and to send them off in style. As a preacher, I believe that we get to celebrate our life for eternity. So when we send somebody that we've lost for our personal loss, it's a great thing to be able to send somebody off in style and to be a part of doing that for somebody like Sonny Barger. He was somebody that growing up, I knew who he was. I grew up um, watching the bikes with Springer front ends and stuff, and my family was all involved with that. So we all knew who Sonny was, and I never thought that I'd get to be a part of his life in any way, yet alone be able to be at his funeral and show some love as he's been given his final respects.
Somebody said the first club that spoke was the Buffalo Soldiers. Uh is that do you remember that?
I remember that the Buffalo Soldiers were there. I remember I don't remember the Buffalo Soldiers speaking though. I remember Hellbent speaking, and I remember the East Bay Dragons speaking. They may have spoke. There was a lot of different speakers, and even when we weren't having live speakers, there were a video presentation from angels from all over the world, giving respect. Different charters that couldn't make it, giving respect to Sonny. Some of his friends like Mike Corbin and the guy that plays Aquaman. Suddenly his name slips my head.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he had a video clip in there paying respects to Sonny, and even local guys like the guy from Hollister Power Sports. I do remember the Buffalo Soldiers being there, but I don't remember them speaking.
Well, I think it's kind of amazing that a kid who joined the military at 16 years old, from very humble beginnings, was laid to rest like a pharaoh or an emperor or something. And people from all over the entire world know his name and know his contribution. And some people will call him a villain, and other people will call him a hero. But you're gonna call him. You know his name. I thought that was amazing. Do you have any final words before we let you get back out here and get back to what you got to do?
Yeah, thank you for the honor of having me on here. This is it's awesome. I've been watching you since you were walking in the field or in the forest, and thank you for the honor of being able to give respects to Sonny one more time. And other than that, I'll be praying for y'all.
Well, outlaw preacher, we really appreciate you, and no, it's the honor is mine, man. If you've been watching me since I've been walking with Braveheart in the forest, I mean, you've been with me for years, and I'm thankful for that. And I tell you what, I miss Braveheart every day. I cry for him almost daily. I miss that damn dog. And I appreciate you for being on here and talking to the people about a hero of yours, someone you actually got to meet and got to talk to, went to his birthday party. That's amazing. Uh, and to bring a human face. Sometimes we don't get a human face on people that are larger than life, but to actually have a human face and to have actually touched and spoken with and walked with the man and then you get to send him off. It's amazing. So listen, outlaw preacher, man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for being a subscriber for so long, and thank you for being part of the Black Dragon Biker TV family, man. Really appreciate you.
Definitely,
Cool, man. Talk to you later. I'll give you a call later.
All right.
Oh my goodness. So we got to hear what it was like to be there, man. That must have been something, man. That really must have been something. And you know, from everything that we've read, the sheriff said that it was going to be tough there, and blah 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 blah. And actually, as the article said, it was really no events, nothing there. People went there to pay respect, and that's what happened. So that's really cool. Thanks, Black Dragon. It was your show last week that convinced me to go pay my respects. I wasn't going to go because I couldn't ride with my boyfriend and his club, but I found a friend to go with. Well, I'm glad that you went and you took part of something that was amazing in history. And man, I wish I could have been there. But to hear that all the sets were represented, the black set, the Hispanic set, the white set, all the sets were there, and they all came together peacefully to say goodbye to a man that perhaps many of them were rivals with his club. Sonny showed in death that we can all just get along. Rodney King asked us, why can't we all just get along? And Sonny Barger showed us that at least for a few minutes or a few hours, we can. And if we can for a few hours, then we can for a few days. And if we can for a few days, we can for a few months. And if we can for a few months, we can for a few years, a few decades, and maybe even a few centuries. We can come together in peace. And everybody are like a bunch of friendly clubs getting along. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. So long, Sonny Barger. And thank you all for tuning in. Get skinny. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospect's Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.
You are fake news. Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker News you can trust.
Biker News you can trust. Biker News you can trust. Biker News you can trust.